So evidently I forgot to record correcting the spiral review this morning. So it's Monday, April 10th, and here are the 3 spiral reviews. So here is review. Oh, I didn't share the screen. There we go. Share the screen. Here is spiral review 13. Oh no, Ms. Laws, what's going on? Big, there we go. Spiral review 13. Problem number 1, B and C. The other 2 didn't, or the other 3 didn't work out. This one came to 6, this one came to, and you just have to work out each number and then add it all together. Number 2, C, if in 2 days they made 12 or 25 dozen, there's 12 in a dozen, 12 times 25 is 300. Then when you change 2 to 5 days, you know that's 2.5 times 2. So I just have to take 2.5 times 300 and it's 750. What is the quotient or answer to a division problem of 92,412 divided by 10 to the third? Well, the answer is going to be a smaller number. You're going to move the decimal and you know to move it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So it's 92.42, B. Number 4, Julie's overnight bag has 13 kilograms. What's the mass in grams? We know that kilograms are the unit. So a kilogram is 1,000 grams. We're going big to small, so we're going to be multiplying it. 13 grams, and each gram has 1,000. We just have to move it 3 times the decimal. So from here, it's going boom, boom, boom. We add 3 zeros to it, 13,000. Which expression has the same value as the quotient of 0.18 divided by 0.16 or 0.06. They're just making sure you know that when you times or divide a number, an equation, if you do both sides by the same amount, so you can times, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Well, if you times the 4 by 2 and make it 8, and you times the 2 by 2 and make it 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2. You can times or divide an equation as long as you do the same thing to both numbers, it comes out the same. You can also move decimal points in an equation and it comes out the same. So here I've moved the decimal point twice, moved the decimal point twice, and it's the same as 18 divided by 6, or B. Let's go on to spiral review 14. Number 1 is B. 2/3 plus 1/9. I changed 2/3 into ninths, which is by like timesing it by 3/3 and making it 6/9 plus 1/9 is 7/9. 2 is D. Here I changed 3/8 into 24ths. I knew I had to times 8 by 3 to get to 24. I times 3 by 3 and came out with 9 24ths plus 8 24ths was 17 24ths. Number 3, B and C both worked out. Again, I use that knowledge I have that if I divide both the top and the number by the same amount, it's an equivalent fraction. So it's like having, if I have 2/5, think of cutting a cake into 5 pieces and I have 2 of those. If I doubled that and made it 10 pieces, I'd have 4 pieces, right? It would be the same as my 2, they'd just be half as big. And again, if I double that, I could have 8 pieces. I could just cut each of those 4 in half again. So it's the same fraction, B and C. Number 4. 1.69 times something equals 1690. All I have to know is what is the relationship between 1.69 and 1.690? Well, I have moved the decimal point to the right 3 times. So that's like timesing it by 1,000 with 3 zeros. There are 157 rows of seats. Each row has 63 seats. It's a simple multiplication problem. You come out with 9,891. You fill it in like that. And the final spiral review today was spiral review 15. The first problem had 2 parts. They ask you how many cookies does each kid get if Ms. Alvarez has $42 and each cookie costs $3. Hi, Anna. I'm going to pause my recording. All right, so part A, if she has $42 and it costs $3 per cookie, I can divide, and I know I could buy 14 cookies, but the kids have to split them up equally, and they can only split 12 of them up equally, and then they end up with 2 cookies left over. So she's only going to buy 12 cookies. She doesn't want any cookies, and she's going to split them up, and between 4 kids, everybody gets 3. Well, 12 cookies at $3 a cookie takes $36. So the second half is how much will she have left? Well, she'll have $6 left over. Number 2 is A. You just find a common denominator and subtract. So in this case, I changed the fourths and the sixths into twelfths. Okay, number 3 is C. You add up the whole numbers, 3 plus 5 is 8. Then you change your denominator here, the first one, from 2/7 to 4/14 and add it to the 6/14. You end up with 10/14. Lovely. Number 4, Greta spends some of her money on rent and some on gas. How much of her money is spent on rent and gas? You just add them together. You need to come up with a common denominator. In this case, eighths and twelfths, the first common denominator is going to be 24ths. You could have done it with a different common denominator, but then you could have brought it down to a simple. You can't simplify this anymore because 13 is a prime number, so it can't be divided. Number 5, 585 divided by 65 equals 9. I guessed 8, did the math, came out with 65 left over, so I knew it would have fit one more time. And that's it for your spiral review.
Slide.